Hey, it's Bob or DoggerQ Bones. Welcome to my very first Best of 1 deck tech. So I got really into Best of 1 with Standard 2022 back over the summer. However, I haven't touched it too much since, but I've been getting back into it because I just like the diversity that it brings. I know that Best of 3 is the traditional competitive format, but when you get to play super sweet decks, I'm not going to be too picky, right? And today we have a take on, I guess, the Magecraft archetype. It's not exactly Magecraft since we only have one Magecraft creature in the entire deck, but it's more or less what we're going for. So we're utilizing the brand new Storm Chaser Storm Chaser Jake. All right, no, we're running with it. That every time you target it, you draw a card. And we have a lot of cards that target, which works really well in conjunction with Dragon's Guard Elite. All the instants and sorceries work well with Delver because we have the Snow package already. Because of Blizzard Brawl, we have Ascendant Spirit as well as a solid threat. And you may be thinking from the mana base, like, whoa, like, is this like a budget deck or something? It's not. I actually legitimately think this is the correct mana distribution. You really need all your lands to be snow for both Spirit and Blizzard Brawl. And you're not terribly color intensive. I have had some games where I have too much green or too much blue, but it doesn't actually happen that often. As long as you have like 2 of each source, you can pretty much cast your entire hand every time. I do also have a sideboard. We don't have any learn cards, so there's no lessons in the board. But if you want to try this in best of 3, I personally haven't. But you can, because I'll link that as well. I've been playing this exclusively in best of 1 and been doing pretty well with it. I don't think this is going to be like a tier 1 killer or anything, but when you're on the play, it's extremely potent. So I've been enjoying it. It's really cool. Let's hope to get some good games in. So hopefully we're on the play. As you know, every best of 1 deck wants to be on the play, right? But this really shines against slower decks and when you're on the play. You can pretty much beat anything when you're on the play with a decent hand, and this hand is quite good. Wish we had like a Delver or something, but Dragon's Guard Elite into Dragon's Guard Elite is very nice. Let's see. Blue. So this smells like a Fading Hope, but we have double Dragon's Guard Elite, so I'm not too worried about that. Or Consider, I guess. Consider is fine. So if they don't interact with this immediately, we just get to go into a second one, and with a Snakeskin Veil, we can go pretty nuts. Even if they do interact with it, we're not, by any means dead. Well, they let us untap, so if they have interaction, we can protect it now. If they want to kill it, they really should with the Dragon's Guard on the stack, so I don't get a free counter. Jawari. Okay. So there's no, like, Decoration Stone. They can't Meat Hook Massacre me right now. I'm not entirely sure why they did it in that order, but it's fine with me. So let's just start with a charge through. Let's get some counters on them. Draw a card. They have to have double interaction spell here, and that would be pretty brutal. Test of Talents. No. Okay. So in response, I'll do another charge through. So they can't stop them all. They did get one of them, though. It's a little sad, but that's all right. I didn't want to let them take it out of our hands. I would have drawn a card, but may as well get the free counter as well, right? So I need to play the Forest, so I can hold open Snakeskin Veil as well, and bash for 8. So as you see, it's turn 4. They're already almost dead. This deck kills pretty often turn 4 to 5, especially when you're on the play, of course. So yeah, they don't have much recourse, presumably. Let's buff up the Spirit and see what they have. If they have double removal spell, they can live. And if it's something like a Fading Hope, I'm not going to try to stop that. But I will try to stop a Divide by 0. And there we go. A nice quick win. This deck does do very well against slower decks like that, as I said before, because you do have so many pieces of protection. I run 10. Oh, I forgot. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. There we go. All right. Now the camera should be proper. One day I'll actually remember to do that during, before I have to actually play my matches. But until then, please bear with me. I'll get it one day, I promise. Hopefully we're on the play again, because being on the play is great. We are not. We have a pretty decent hand, though. Definitely not complaining. One of the times, I'm not too big of the Rimewood Falls fan, is when we have 1 into 2. However, we drew a second 1-drop, so going Delver into Tapland Delver is pretty fine. They seem to have Fading Hope. A little annoying, but not the end of the world by any capacity. I like how they waited. A lot of people would be pretty gung-ho and just do it instantly, but I think waiting is actually pretty smart. Because if I flip it, then they get to reset it. But for what it's worth, I generally try to avoid playing Dragon's Guard Elite. Wow, jerk. I try to avoid playing Dragon's Guard Elite on turn 2 because it is vulnerable. I like to have it open when I can protect it with something. If we don't draw a land, I'm not going to have much of a choice. And I'll just run it out. They already used 1 Cinderclasm at least, and they presumably don't have multiples. Or if they do, they probably haven't drawn multiples yet. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. This is a little rough, though. If we don't draw a land, so we'll see. If we do, then I think we're in the money. Iteration. Okay, so they're presumably going to find blue land so they can hold open Fading Hope. As I said, if I have to play Dragon's Guard and they just Fading Hope it for, infinite value, that's pretty annoying. But have to get it out of their hands, right? Unless they choose to do it to the Delver. That's also possible. They're thinking about it. That's pretty reasonable. Let's see, a land. Nice. So I would normally want to hold open Interaction. However, turn 4 is the turn that they tend to want to Memory Deluge or Unexpected Windfall. So I do want to put on as much pressure as possible. Furthermore, it's going to be hard to hold open stuff next turn because I do only have 1 green source and all green spells so far. As I said, this can sometimes be an issue, but it is what it is. I think having all snow is a much bigger payoff than not. And they're probably just going to kill one of my creatures anyway. So it's fine. I'm probably just going to have to spend the turn deploying another threat and then holding open Interaction later. But we'll see what happens. Seems that they might be going for the Divide by 0 right now. We drew the other forest. I don't know why I said the other, but you know what I mean. So I could just play Dragon's Guard Elite right now. I'm a little afraid of Battle of Frost and Fire. That would be pretty brutal. So I think I might wait the turn so I can hold open double Interaction. Because they can't play any of their really good 4s. So let's just chill. This might be a little greedy on my part. I am playing around a card that's only a 2 of. But if they have it, they're going to slam it. And then I can't protect both of them. Actually, I wouldn't be able to protect anything, really. So that would be really problematic. So I get blown out if they have multiple removal spells. But I think I need to just do something. So I'd rather protect the Dragon's Guard. I guess I'd rather them kill the Delver, but if they go after the Delver, I wouldn't want to save it anyway. Because it's not that high impact of a threat. Compared to Dragon's Guard anyway. So, tough. Decisive Denial is great. Nope. Unfortunately, we miss again. Despite having a lot of hits in this deck, I feel like Delver just never flips for me. And it's still pretty good, so, yeah. It is what it is, right? So let's attack for 4. I'm assuming they're just going to take it and try to go for a 4-drop this turn, which I can just Decisive Denial, which is pretty great. And then hold open more Interaction. If I had a 5th land, I can do Storm Chaser into Decisive Denial and hold something open. That's okay. Let's see, what do you got? You gotta presume it's an Unexpected Windfall. It could be just they try to like divide by 0 or something. I wouldn't let that happen, but I wouldn't be mad at that. We do have to kill them before they can combo, though. That is perfectly fine with me. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's a shame that I can't really take advantage by casting something, but that's all right. We'll go for the slow beatdown plan. Mm-hmm. I would love to draw a land at this point, or just like a charge through, or a what's that card called? It's so long. The guards card, the 1-mana card. I'll put it right there. Another denial. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm fine with just holding up a bunch of interaction too. Like I don't have to do anything because the second they try to go for something, I could probably just like kill them in one fell swoop. I do wish I had a 5th land so I can go double 2-drop into protection, but not the end of the world. That is interesting. So it prevents 3 damage. I could just Snakeskin Veil. It's unfortunate I can't quad spell here, no matter what. That's tough. I think I want the damage more than anything, though. So doing this seems pretty good. They have like a Fading Hope into an Alrune's Epiphany, though. That would be so rough. But if they had Fading Hope, I figured they would probably start there. So this makes sense that resolved. I'm hoping their hand isn't just like 2 more pieces of removal, but now it's a 5/5. It's going to be really hard for them to remove it with damage-based removal, which is why I just love this card. Like, it just grows out of range of, like, everything. The ideal world is that they just go land 7 to Alrunes and hope that's good enough, but obviously we know that it won't be. Ooh, okay. Double Foretell, huh? If I draw a cheap spell, they are just dead. I did not, unfortunately. So what you could do, a cute trick, is that you make this a 3/3 Elephant Trample, right? It gets the counter, but that's only 7 damage. We need 1 more to win. So I'll attack for 5 and hold open double Decisive Denial, and that should do the job. Hopefully their final card isn't like a Fading Hope or something, because then I have to make an awkward choice. But I guess not, because I just Decisive Denial, and it's probably no issue. If those are something like Demon Bolts, they would have to have 2 to do anything, and we still have the Wild Shape to help. If they do go land Galvanic Iteration, that is pretty awkward, though, I'll admit. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't even matter, because I could just Decisive Denial both, because I drew both. Right. So, yeah, I think they're pretty much dead here. I don't see their out. They probably do have some sort of out I'm not thinking of, but I don't know. Nope. Get Mana Leaks. So, a bit of a slow going, but we got there. That's just the power of Dragon's Guard Elite. Just kind of the best creature in the deck. Oh, it's Behold. Okay. Card is pretty nuts. I know we are doing the blue for the Storm Chaser Drake, mostly, but Dragon's Guard Elite still does pull the weight. Let's see. Yeah, we still have some time. We can keep playing. Let's get a few more in. So we face 2 control decks. Let's see if we can face an aggressive deck. Hopefully on the play. I love water. It's so good. Ooh! This hand's pretty good. Little slow, but double Dragon's Guard Elite. Mwah. Scrumptious. Card is so good. I love Dragon's Guard Elite. I'm so sad that it's such a narrow card. You can't play it in too many things. but it's so good. Card's nuts. Hello. I like when people say the hello. Ooh, okay. The jig is up. We're Simic Spells. So more blue decks, but hey, that's fine. I like facing the blue decks. I think our blue matchup is quite good. Okay, so blue whites. Okay, okay. What's she gonna do, 7 of 9? What's she gonna do? They can Faithful Absence right now, but that's fine, because that's like the worst of all the removal spells. That's fine. We have double threat anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Have to do it like this, obviously. Can't cast Storm Chaser. And now what do, right? Faithbound Judge would be the worst possible for us, because that blocks our board really well. But we still have a clue, so that wouldn't be the end of the world. They have another Absence? That would be annoying. I will say board wipes are pretty rough for this deck as well, because I don't have anything that gives Indestructible. I do have Decisive Denial, which helps. But if they stall me too much, then their board wipes can take over. So this is kind of a pain in itself. However, this is a pretty nice clock. I wish we drew a land so we can either threaten the Snakeskin or hold open a clue, but it is what it is. They don't play too many of this effect, so... I could Snakeskin right now just to get a counter draw card. It would probably counter it, but I'm more afraid of Divide by Zero to fizzle. So, we're not going to do that. Okay, drew a lands. I am worried of a Doomscar. I feel like they might have... They do have the Deluge, though. So if they didn't have Doomscar before, they almost certainly do now. I can crack a clue and try to find the Decisive Denial. That would be ideal, but yeah, this is pretty rough. Blue-white, I would consider generally a really good matchup, but if they have double Faithful Absence, Memory Deluge into a board wipe, well, there's only so much I could do, right? Really just need the Dragon's Guard Elite, because that can kill so quickly. Oh, okay, okay. They don't have it. Nice. They're almost certainly going to next turn, and I don't have a growing threat, unfortunately, but... Let's crack a clue. And let's crack a clue. More lands. Okay. Charge Through was really good. So let's start there. That's just divination. So if they miss their land, Decisive Denial could tag that Doomscar. But if we just draw like another Dragon's Guard Elite, that is asking for a bit much. Like Ascended Spirit would also be really good here. All right, like I'll keep divinating, I guess. It's a lot of cards. Oh boy. Even if we lose, at least we'll die with 9 cards in hand. That's all I could really ask for. Oh no, you jerk. Hey, at least they didn't get the Snakeskin Veil, huh? Whew. That would have been scary. So they look like pretty traditional blue-white. So they play 4 Doomscar, 1 Devastating Mastery, 3 Test of Talents, 2 Devious Cover-Up, so on and so forth. So that is unfortunate. We have all the hexproof in the world. But unfortunately, no way to stop a board wipe. I'm just going to keep doing this, though. Ah, there's the denial. 1 card away. Oh, they are at 5, so not bad. They are pretty low, so we're far from out of this game. I could just use you see a guard approach to cycle as well. If that happens to be like a Behold or something, then I'm not technically dead, but I feel like they have to board wipe here, right? Sunset Revel. Okay. We have 2 flyers, though, so that's not a big issue for us. Huh. Do I use this just to cycle? Probably not. Wild Shape. So, is that just lethal? if I'm doing my math correctly, that's lethal, I believe, because I get to go Snakeskin Veil. Have this have 3 counters. Yeah, that's lethal. Assuming they don't have multiple pieces of interaction, of course. They do, right? I can't stop that. So we start there. But I guess what interaction could they even have that stops me here? They need to have another test of talents, but they need a lot at this point. Are we already through blockers? Yeah, we're already through blockers. Okay. You gotta be careful. You don't want to give them an opportunity to block, of course. I believe this is Xaxes. That seems like 9 damage to me. What do you think, 7 and 9? Devious cover-up? No. No. Not today, 7 and 9. Not today. You can do that tomorrow, but not today. Good game, 7. Nice. Was that a Doomscar? It was not a Doomscar. It was a Saw coming, so they actually didn't have it. Nice. Well, wow, this video is already 20 minutes. Huh. I generally feel like the games with this deck kind of fly by, but no, we've actually been playing for a little while. Anyway, let's do a quick wrap-up, because I think 3 games is pretty good. I don't want every video I make to be 4 hours either, as they kind of currently been. So apologies on that for those who want shorter content, but here you go. So yeah, that was a very brief overview of blue-green. As I said, I think this deck is really cool. Don't think this is a, like, you know, super amazing deck, but I think it can contend with some better options. We just beat 3 blue decks in a row, which has mostly been my experience. I've beaten plenty of aggro decks, even on the draw, because Blizzard Brawl is excellent, and Dragon's Guard Elite is kind of broken. A funny thing with Ascendant Spirit is that people kind of just don't even realize what that card does and attack their 2/2s into it constantly. So you get a lot of just like free blocks out of it just because it's such a weird card. And it just works really well with all the protection. But I think this is kind of the future of Magecraft, even if you want to go the green-white version, because I think just having an excess of protection in terms of you see a guard approach, that was the card I couldn't remember before, Snakeskin Veil or Wild Shape, just having all those hexproofing options that also have utility otherwise. Snakeskin doesn't, but it still gives a counter, right? So that's fine. It's just so good in the current metagame and just in general. So you can play around with the you see a guard approach and Wild Shape numbers, because Wild Shape does have cute applications where you can get lethal off of like Dragon's Guard Elites and stuff. So maybe you want more of this, because I don't often use the tap a creature mode, but you get the gist. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the best of 1 content. If you do, please, you know, let me know how it is. Also, I've actually changed my microphone settings a bit. So please tell me if, you know, it should really stand out that this sounds better, sounds worse. I would love to know. We're trying to keep sprucing up the channel as best as we can to provide the highest level of content possible. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.